Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's that time of the week again, Thursday night. You are tuned to the one and only Third and Long podcast. I am, of course, your host, the incomparable Welsh wizard, Shane Harris. To my top left is the podcast OG, Mr. Oliver Butler Henderson. Above me is our beautiful cherub, Baby Hope. And special mention to my boy this week after his hometown club's first trophy in 70 dry years. Mr. Perrins, are you sober? How are you feeling?
I'm not going to lie. It's been quite intense. It's been an emotional few days. I enjoyed the rugby on Saturday night, and then I enjoyed the football even more so Sunday. No, all right. Just to put this out there. No one currently alive in my family has seen Newcastle United win a major trophy. Everyone in my family that would have been alive during the last time we won something had long passed. And so it was really like if you like Man United fans or like Liverpool and Arsenal and Chelsea and Man City, or all the ones like the traditional dirty six in the Premier League, like to watch like this happened to us has just been so amazing, and it's actually been really, really cool having like, you know, people that I work with and even like students that aren't necessarily biased go, even like the Liverpool fans that I teach, they go like, so I don't mind that we lost because we lost to you guys, and it's actually really cool, like the aftermath of it. And I was saying before we come on air, 8 million people watched the League Cup final on Sunday. It's the most viewed League Cup final this century.
I just want to point out something that Shane said. Shane said your hometown team that you support.
Yes.
I support where I was born.
So do I.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. This isn't a diss at you. This is a diss at the other two. This is a diss
I knew where this was coming from.
I thought you were building up to like going, Mr. Perrins, you live in Bev. No. I was born.
I know you're born. I know you're born in Newcastle.
I know that.
I know that. It was a diss of the people.
You got black and white running through his veins.
It was
speaking of your
below me. The people with the Norwich fans.
I was gonna say Norwich fans, shut your daft. I was gonna say, speaking of your bodacious body, Mr. P, are you gonna follow through with your promise of getting a tattoo of Big Daniel Byrne on you somewhere?
Yes, 100%. I've actually been thinking, like you know, I've got like a magpie on my knee, Shane. I'm generally thinking of like having like a Dan Burn or having like the score line as well as the scorers and the minutes tattooed onto me, because I've seen a few like Geordies already get the ink done, and I'm thinking like, oh, do I want the same? Do I want another man's name tattooed onto me?
I thought your name was Phil, but apparently it's Mark. Anyway, OBH, how's things, my old buddy?
Haven't been able to get a word in, so I've just been sitting back and listening. So yeah, all good.
Sorry, but leave him have his moment.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not going to miss the diss. I will come back to that.
Remember that I didn't dish you, boys. Remember that I didn't dish you on air.
You pointed the wrong way, mates.
Yeah,
but
it's the right way.
On the camera, you're pointing.
No, I'm pointing straight at you, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Above me as well.
But the people on the video you'll be pointing away from me. I'm
pointing at you, mate.
Oh, he'll get his in due course. Don't you worry about that.
OBH, I'm watching him.
I can see it. OBH, how's your week been? How's things?
Busy and busy. Yeah, all good, mate. All good. Cracking on, getting on with things. I can't complain.
Okay, so let's tune in for next week's show. Yeah, I was really. So as for yours truly, yep, everything's good in all honesty. The newest job is challenging, but I'll get there. It's really rewarding, to be fair. I met lots of new people, lots of nice new people. It's all good. Just plowing towards the weekend now, where I can continue my lifelong quest of drowning in the greatest drink on God's green earth.
Shane, I've got a question for you.
Yes,
Are you looking forward to talking about the Bengals for the first 10 to 15 minutes of this podcast?
You think I'm going to get 10 to 15 minutes out of the Bengals?
I think we might even get longer.
What on two-player deals, don't be daft.
I don't know. I've got 2 pages worth of notes, mate.
Same.
What for? What do you even say? The X signed for this match for this long. Okay.
Right, let's do it. If I can find the button, wherever it is. Where is the button?
I've got it, don't worry.
This is the news in 60.
Yep. It's been a flurry of high-profile contract extensions and heartfelt farewell dominated the NFL headlines this week. Cincinnati Bengals have solidified the offense firepower, like at star receivers T. Higgins and Jamar Chase to a 4-year deal. The combined value of these extensions totals a staggering $266 million, signaling the Bengals' commitment to building a championship caliber offense around Joe Burrow. Start again. In Houston, the Texans made a bold statement rescuing Derek Stingley's future. The young defensive back signed a 3-year deal worth $40 million to make him the highest paid defensive back in the league. Yeah. Hell of a player. Philadelphia have reworked right tackle Lane Johnson's contract, mainly a stay of the season until the end of the 2027 season. However, the Eagles have said goodbye, and the league have said goodbye, in fact, to Brandon Graham, who's announced his retirement after 15 years in the season. Known for his relentless motor, infectious fusers, and big player and loyalty. He's been with the Eagles from dot, and he's played through so many injuries as well. That is it.
Sound.
Yeah.
Okay, right. I was thinking, is there anything else? No, okay.
So should we start? Should we start?
That's
with the
okay.
Bengals?
Yeah, just boys. People love Dead Air. It's their
should-
favorite.
Should we start with the Bengals with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins signing?
Yes.
So I've got Jamar Chase's stats in front of me for this year. So this year he had 127 receptions, which was first in the NFL, 1,708 yards, which was first in the NFL, and 17 touchdowns, which was first in the NFL.
This
So,
season, triple crown.
Yeah. I think the last person to do that was Cooper Kupp, no?
Yeah, 2 years ago before his injury.
Yeah.
He just missed out on the 2,000-yard game year, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
he's
did. I remember that.
161 million dollars over
Well, I mean,
4 years.
They've tied down Joe Burrow and they have that connection.
Yeah, I mean, it was Joe Burrow who said, "Well, the Philadelphia Eagles can make these players, make their players, keep their players. So why can't we?" They franchise tagged Jamar Chase for the second year on the row. I'm guessing the contract talk
T. Higgins.
T. Higgins, sorry. I'm guessing these contract talks have been going on for the last, undoubtedly, weeks, maybe in the whole of the last season to try and get that. And obviously, given the contract, the franchise tag, he gives him those extra weeks before he hits free agency. I'm guessing where they obviously believe that it was going in the right direction.
Yeah, but does this hamstring them spending on defense? Because that's where they needed to spend their money after last season.
Yeah, but then you could.
They are totally.
Sorry, go on, Shane.
As much as they want to keep their, very potent offense, they have unbelievably shot themselves in the foot with a defense that played awfully against every team they played last year. So let's sort of, slow it down for the new fans around here, people who don't really understand how the finances in the NFL work. So every team has what's called a salary cap, okay, and they've got to stay under that. Whether that means bringing in players, signing players, free agents, tying down the players that they have at the minute, what have you. So with these two deals, Jamar Chase is signed for 4 years for $161 million with $112 million guaranteed. And T. Higgins, as you previously mentioned, is also signed for 4 years, but with $150 million guaranteed as well. So that maths isn't my strong point. Mr. P, you were the teacher. Do the maths on that one.
$266 million combined.
Yeah.
I said Mr. P. He's a teacher. So basically what they've done, they've hamstrung themselves because they've also got to pay Trey Hendrickson, who was a sack leader in the NFL last year. and he played incredible. Like, what happens to Trey Hendrickson now? And also, they've got to improve the rest of the defense. So, what are they going to do?
Send Trey to the Bay.
Be, don't you?
Send Trey to the Bay.
No, it ain't going to happen, mate. You know what it's going to be, don't you? It's going to be they are going to go after young players in the draft, just like the Eagles did with their two cornerbacks, Cooper DeJean and Quinnen Mitchell. Mr. Perrins down at the bottom there.
So, I mean, it's never really been with the exception of like when Joe Burrow went down injured, the offense has not been really questioned in Cincinnati for the last couple of years. They have a really, really great offense, but I think what we're alluding to here is they lost the Super Bowl because they had no defense. They were a whole. They had no O-line to protect Joe. They kind of mildly have addressed that. They've still kept his weapons, but their defense is not great. And the fact that you're forking out so much money on one side of the ball, something has to give, and that is the beauty, but also the harrowing part of the salary cap, which Shane explained before we went on to this. Because the salary cap's gone up and players are getting paid big money, and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins absolutely deserve their bag. Like they do. They were amazing, but you've neglected a whole side of the ball, which makes or breaks a team. Like I don't even mention like the 49ers, but like I am not investing.
What do you mean you don't want to mention them?
Not investing certain elements into a side of the ball, whether or not that's offense or defense, or paying too much for one player, which means that you're paying pennies for people that will be on other people's practice squads, is quite detrimental. Like it is. You need to find a healthy balance, and great teams find a healthy balance. Kansas, Philly, just to name a few. You can go all in, but then you can. Yeah, you guys. Yeah, absolutely. So it's finding that balance, and I don't know if Cincinnati, going for like the youth movement, which every coach apparently wanted to go into the youth movement at the moment, but there's only so many decent youths to go around. Like it's. I mean, yes, we get like a new plenishment every single year, but there's only so many good ones that are remaining on a squad after a couple of years.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, looking at their salary cap, since they got $6 million left to play, they don't have a lot to play with. Mr. Harris.
What I'll do again, I'll sort of, take a step back for the inexperienced viewers and listeners to this show and try and explain something else as well. And I will throw it to my beautiful, beautiful colleague, Baby Hope. Now, listen to me, Oliver. I'll ask you a question, okay? Football is played three facets of the game is played. You've got offense, defense, and what else?
Special teams.
Thank you very much. That's another thing that they haven't invested in. And I'll tell you another thing as well. The fact that they haven't invested in Jamar Chase's, in Joe Burrow's O-line. How good can your quarterback throw? Who can he get the ball to if he's on his back?
That's a good question. But do you not think that some quarterbacks, I think Patrick Mahomes is probably the best at this, at extending plays even when he doesn't have an O-line?
Well, that remains to be seen. But as I said, I think it's a case of they've so let's play devil's advocate here for a second. What if they didn't pay Jamar Chase the big bucks because T. Higgins was staying for another year, franchise tagged, he was staying regardless. What if they didn't pay Jamar Chase? Could you have seen him leave in Cincinnati?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Money talks, and it's not. And Cincinnati proved last season they're not good enough to win a championship because of their defense. So why not go to Philly, KC, or you're good enough to go and take a team that's mid, like say the Commanders or the Ravens or something like that, and make them. Well, they're one-star wide receiver away.
Yeah, if he signs for anybody, he's obviously going to take that team into the main event conversation.
Yeah, so why would you, if they're not going to pay you, go somewhere that would?
Yeah. It's a business. I mean, we can say how much we love our, respected sports teams and we want them to stay with us forever. But like for a player, for an athlete, their careers are so short in the grand scheme of things. So and especially in football as well, where it can be taken from you any given Sunday. So you get your bank, you get your guarantees, so that you look after yourself. Because by the time that depending on position, running back 30, wide receiver 33, 34, quarterback 38, maybe onwards, very few last that long. You get your bag, you get what you deserve, or you think that you deserve. Get your Joe Maguire.
And the thing is, no one will hold it. No one will hold it against you. If a player left and said, I had to leave X because I got more money to look after my family and feed my family and secure their financial future, no one's going to say you're a sellout, because everybody breathing in and breathing out wants exactly the same thing.
Yeah, I get that. Long story short, are they worth the deal? 266 million between the two of them. Obviously, Jamar Chase 150 something, and T Higgins 115. Are they worth it?
This might be a bit controversial, but I think it's a good deal.
I think Jamar Chase, I think the Jamar Chase signing is a good deal. He's probably the best wide receiver in the NFL. If not, he's a very close 1B to Justin Jefferson, maybe. But yeah, I mean, like he is the elite. He's in the conversation for 1 or 2. So yeah, paying the big bucks. But I don't think T Higgins is worth that money. In all honesty, I think he's wide receiver 2.5, 2 at best.
So I assume both of these deals are massively backloaded. I've not actually seen the breakdown, but I'd assume they're both massively backloaded. So
I haven't seen the stats come out on what it is either. To be fair.
Did say they have 6 million left this year
in total. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they need that for their draft prospects minimum. But I think for watchability, the Bengals are going to be very fun to watch next year. And you know what they say? Offense puts bums on seats.
It is.
Sells tickets, but defense wins championships. So I think they'll be a fun watch next season, but I'm not sure how far they'll actually get. But let's not forget, without a defense.
Yeah, they went in the North, but not a chance.
They still nearly made the playoffs. Like they were still very, very close.
So his base salary is 21.86 per year by the looks of it.
What, Jamar?
His pronouns, pal. Who's that?
Jamar. This one work out because I'm looking at Sports Act now, and it says 4 years, 161 million, average 140.25. And it's got base salary 21.8 million.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of that is like signing bonus and stuff.
Yeah, signing bonus. They haven't announced signing bonus. They haven't given a lot of details on it. There's very little details on Jamar Chase's contract. So yeah. Let's roll over to the other guy who's seriously got paid, and that's Derek Stingley over at Texans. Good deal?
Yes.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a great deal for them.
This guy's a stud.
Yeah, completely. I mean, over the season he's had, his career, 131 tackles, 11 interceptions, 36 pass breakups, and the sack as well to go with it. Pro Bowler. Played for LSU. LSU.
Yeah. I was just thinking, how did LSU have a team of Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and Derek Stingley Jr.? Like, how was that team?
That is ridiculous, isn't it?
No, that's Madden fantasy booking. That is.
Yeah, completely. Yeah, that's another situation though. It's 90 million over the 3 years, so it's 30 million. It's more than a lot of receivers get paid.
Yeah, but you need to pay the big bucks to keep your best players, and
Yeah.
And he's
cornerback-
young as
and-
well. And he's young.
And there's not that many elite cornerbacks around. They don't go on trees.
No.
There's a lot more elite receivers around.
Our Texans defense is scary. Will Anderson, Derek Stingley, Daniel Hunter. It's a scary defense as it is.
Yeah, they've
I
just
mean, if
extended.
CJ can sort himself out this year, there'll be something to watch.
They've just extended Daniil for another year, haven't they? Too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, completely. I mean, I think it's a good bit of work. I mean, it was Mad Monday. Okay, yes, the show's called "Who Dey Getting Paid," but should have really named it the LSU Cash Character or something like that, because was it 200? I tweeted out the other day from the podcast how much it was. Where was it? Where is it? It's like 200 odd million between the two of them. Where is it?
Because it was 166 for Jamal and then 90 for Derek Stingley. It's
$666 million between the four of them.
Very metal number.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's yeah. I mean,
no wonder LSU won the national title.
Oh my god, yeah, they didn't they? I mean, that was a hell of a team. Hell of a team. Brandon Graham, 15 years in the NFL, 2-time Super Bowl winner, Pro Bowler, All-Pro, multiple times the Walter Payton Award winner, 15 years in the Eagles, 15 years in the NFL, stepping away. What is your memories of this gentleman's career?
I don't like the Eagles, and I don't like many of their players. But just like Jason Kelsey, I think it's really, really hard to hate this guy.
Mm.
He always played with a smile on his face. I felt like he was always giving 100% all the time, and he was a great player. I mean, as you said, I can't remember the X amount of Pro Bowls, 2-time Super Bowl winner. This guy was one of the best in the league at what he did for a long period of time.
And loved, not by just his teammates, but like the city as well. Like he's, in terms of like how the Eagles fans see him, and you already mentioned about, like, you know, Jason Kelsey, how like Eagles fans love him. He's rated the exact same as well. Like he's just iconic.
Yeah, he's the leader of that defense for so many years, you know, on the other side of the ball. And when someone like steps like that, I mean, we thought with Philadelphia when Jason Kelsey stepped away that this team wasn't going to be the same. They went to the Super Bowl, went back to the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl. The first or the second season, he was at the NFL.
First season,
yeah. I can remember if it was first or second, how many years he's retired.
Yeah, him standing in the Chiefs stands with his top off shouting feels like forever ago.
I know, right? Mm. Yeah, completely.
that was 2 seasons ago though. That wasn't last season.
I thought,
yeah, that's the season after he retired, isn't it? Mr.
No,
Harris.
no.
I think that night changed his career. Boys, quickly around the room, as we know, Brandon Graham played for the Eagles for 14 years from 2010 till 2024. He accrued a certain number of sacks. The number is between 60 and 100. Anyone fancy a guess?
I'm not going to say it because it's on my stat sheet in front of me.
Same here.
She did. Oh, you paid? She did. Go on, Phil.
67,000.
I'm going to say 67,000. You're daft. I said between 60 and 100.
Okay. Well, sorry. 74.
Ooh, very
You're not far off, boys. 76.5 in 14 years. That's an incredible stat. And as we said, he's not going to be just missed by the team. He'll be missed by the city. But I can imagine when it comes to iconic players like Brandon Graham, they'll find a job for him somewhere. Even if he's sweeping the floor, they'll find a job for him somewhere.
I think he might find a golden jacket in 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh, is he on Happy Gilmore too?
Yeah. That's definitely what I meant.
Of course.
Speaking of people who are in Happy Gilmore 2, Travis Kelsey won an iHeart Music Award on Monday night for Best Surprise Performance in the Live Show for when he jumped on Taylor's stage at Wembley.
God. I mean, I have no idea what that is, so I
I've-
can't
I've-
comment.
I've-
I don't have no
apparently-
idea after the words you just said.
Apparently, it's a big thing. Apparently.
I know what Jason. I know what Jason. And I know what
Maybe.
Travis Kelsey is.
Baby, why do you like Taylor Swift so much, but like you're not that fond of Sabrina Carpenter?
When did I say I didn't like Sabrina Carpenter?
You just never talk about her. Like it's very Tay-Tay, but like you don't really talk about Charlie XCX or Sabrina Carpenter.
I mean, I don't
Wow,
mind
I
them.
don't know.
I quite like Sabrina Carpenter's music. I don't mind Charlie XCX music.
Bruh.
OBH,
What?
what are these words? What are these words you're speaking of? What are these words? They sound like nonsense
I know
words.
Charlie XCX.
I don't. It sounds like someone ate the Scrabble board over.
I love Charlie XCX. All right, you know the song "Fancy" by Iggy Azalea. I'm so fancy, you
I know it,
already know.
Yes, I know it.
She's the one that sings that, and then she did her own 360 and like the whole Brat Summer and like oh my god.
Sounds spiffing. Sounds fascinating.
She's amazing. I actually love her.
I finish this
I mean,
with a powder and kiss.
She won a load of Brits, didn't she?
Yeah.
Wow.
No idea. Yes, you can talk about juice for a bit.
Okay, so I
time over.
want to talk about the situation more than anything else.
Go on then.
So here's what apparently happened, according to Kyle. Yes, check.
Kyle, sorry, or Kyle check. Okay, yeah.
So apparently the Niners wanted to rework his contract, and I'm guessing they lowballed him because that's what the Niners do.
Yep.
So he wanted to go and find out his value. So he went to Pittsburgh, but then the Niners came in with an offer that he was happy to take, and he thought it wasn't worth leaving home, basically.
Yeah, why would you go to cold when you live in the warm?
Because apparently
I'm gonna
Pittsburgh
do
offered
that.
him.
Uproot your family.
Apparently Pittsburgh offered him more money, but the thing is, I think what the Niners have effectively done is, although he's on slightly less money, I think he's got more guaranteed over the next 2 years. And I think he's got an extension of a year because I think he was going into his last year now, but he got a 2-year deal, $8 million, 7 guaranteed. So that's quite a lot of guaranteed money for a fullback.
Yeah.
Can I tell you why he didn't join the Steelers? There's a little saying in Baltimore: "Once a Raven, always a Raven." So he didn't want to join those because he knows that we hate them and they hate us.
It's not like he said that being part of the 49ers was the highlight of his career.
Oh, that's not important. That's not important.
He
I mean,
did
I
say-
And you know, there's another thing that they say in Baltimore as well. It's like once a Raven, probably going to kill somebody, get away with it, and then get a statue built outside the stadium.
No, I think they say stop or shoot.
Just something else they say in Baltimore. Do you know something
What do they say?
do you know something else they say in Baltimore a lot?
Go on, boy. Hurry up.
Because Lamar tends to choke.
Gasping for air. Stop
Wait,
it.
I've got one. Baby, do you know what else they say in Baltimore?
What?
I can't wait to leave Baltimore.
Cheers, Dwayne.
I believe they also say, "Oh, my back," because they've got so many old players.
We've signed one old player. We've signed one old player.
Derrick Henry.
We've signed more than you have.
Derrick Henry's
Get on a bit.
Justin
We're
Tucker's
going to get
washed.
stuff on Dick by the sounds of it.
Justin Tucker's washed.
Whoa, 1 minute now.
Oh, so sorry. Justin Tucker is sexually harassing people. My bad.
Well, I can't. I wasn't there. I can't say anything about that.
DeAndre Hopkins is past it. I mean, the only decent player you have is Zay Flowers.
Right, come back when you're not 11-6.
Hey,
Sorry,
hey,
OBH,
Colin.
continue.
Well,
Come back when you can win a playoff game.
We did last year.
Why didn't
Yeah,
you all shut up and come back when you got 6 Super Bowl rings?
Yeah, we
Twice,
only
actually.
one off. Yeah, actually, come back to me when you can win, when you can get past the divisional round. Yeah.
We did. Twice.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Has Lamar though? Has Lamar?
Yeah,
Not yet, but he will.
Will he though? Will he?
Yeah, yes, he will.
Yeah,
Right.
but will he?
Enough of the bashing time. Let's let Phil have his 10 minutes of fame.
Go on, boy,
about
go for it.
UFL. or XFL or the UFSL
Or UFC or whatever it is.
What the hell is called nowadays? It is. I love the fact he's not even wearing a bloody UFL bloody jersey. He's wearing West Virginia.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with wearing my college jersey. Shout out
You've
to
got a UFL jersey, that's why.
Love the Mountaineers.
DHgate, don't sell them.
I do. I have a Renegades jersey. All right, so boys and girls, so spring ball is very much upon us now. I said off air that I actually have 4 pages of notes that I actually wrote up during my my lunch break today, so this is going to be exciting. So UFL spring break season 2025 overview. So the league structure is based around this merger between the old USFL and the XFL. So in the USFL conference, we have the Birmingham Stallions, we have the Houston Roughnecks, the Memphis Showboats, the Michigan Panthers, and then in the XFL, we have the Arlington Renegades, the DC Defenders, the San Antonio Brahmas, and the St. Louis Battlehawks. Okay, now I know we're really, really excited about this, so I'm just going to do a quick deep dive overview of all the teams that are going to be involved in the season this year, and talking about their star players, their college that they came from, and any relevant NFL experience. Okay, so there's going to be a couple of names in here that we are possibly all going to be aware of. So let's go to the Midlands, but not the West Midlands. We're talking about Alabama. We're going to go to the Birmingham Stallions first. Their star player, Hendo, is a man called Jamar Smith at quarterback. Jamar went to Louisiana Tech, and he had a brief stint with the New England Patriots. Do you remember Jamar Smith?
What practice squad guy lasted about 6 weeks?
There we go. So we have him at quarterback. Now we're just going to go to Houston, the Houston Roughnecks. Their star player is a man called Cole McDonald, who came from the University of Hawaii, and he was drafted by the Tennessee Titans in 2020. Memphis.
What round?
It didn't say. That's poor journalism on me. Memphis Showboat. Justin Hall at wide receiver from Ball State University, undrafted standout in last season's UFL season. He was up for their MVP award. Michigan Panthers star player Breland Speaks, defensive end, University of Mississippi, or Ole Miss, and he was a second-round pick by the Kansas City Chiefs in 2018.
Ooh.
Arlington Renegades, their star player, Luis Perez, quarterback. Texas A&M, and he's been on multiple practice squads with engagements up and down the league. DC Defenders, Eric Dungy, their quarterback, Syracuse University, brief periods with the Giants and the Browns. And the Rocks team...
Is he related to Tony Dungy or not?
Yes. No, probably not.
Don't think so, because she's an English
Yeah,
soccer.
maybe.
No, I'm pretty sure Eric Dungy might be white, but we can always check. Eric Dungy. Yep, 100% white.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm just saying that. All right, so back onto this. Eric Dungy had brief periods with the Giants and the Browns. The Rocks team, the Brahmas, Tavante Beckett, linebacker, Marshall University, Detroit Lions practice squad, and also Jordan Williams from the University of Tennessee, the Atlanta Falcons practice squad. So the Brahmas defense is going to be pretty solid in the secondary this year. The Battlehawks, AJ McCarron from the quarterback from the University of Alabama.
Is he still going?
Yep. Played with teams including the Bengals and the Texans. Okay, so we're all really excited.
Are they the reigning and defending?
No, Birmingham are.
Oh, I thought it was that one. Okay.
This is the second. This is the third season of the merger. The first year it was the Renegades. And Birmingham were the winners last year. So the season starts Friday, the 28th of March next week. Okay, so the opening games. Let's just go around. Let's go around the room very, very quickly. Okay, guys, I'm going to name the two teams, and well, like what we do with the NFL, we'll just see who we're going to fancy. So we're going to come to Baby first. The St. Louis Battlehawks will be at the Houston Roughnecks. Who do you think will win?
I had a strategy that worked for me over the NFL season, and that was in close games go home teams. So I'll take Houston.
That's great, guys. What else are we thinking? Like Hendo?
Yeah, I'll back up the Roughnecks on that one.
Yeah. Shane, you're gonna go a clean sweep.
You say that we do this with the NFL teams. The difference is we're a lot more knowledgeable about NFL teams. It's like picking black or white in this case. No, I'm going to go against the grain, Phil. I'm going to go with the St. Louis. Yeah.
What I will say, from having knowledge of the UFL, the Battlehawks are one of the most popular teams in the league. They travel really, really well. St. Louis, even back to like when Vince McMahon brought the XFL back before COVID, they were the highest attending fans during like the home games. St. Louis has really, really embraced this. And again, when the merger, 4 teams could stay, 4 teams had to go. I was very, very chuffed that St. Louis managed to keep the Battlehawks, because we might laugh and scoff about it. That's a whole region that haven't had a NFL team or a football team for quite some time. And again, I'm going to go with the Battlehawks away, because again, they just travel really, really well, and I'm looking forward to this season. Saturday, we have the Rocks team, the San Antonio Brahmas, against my team, the Arlington Renegades. Shane, are the Renegades going to win, or is it going to be the Brahma Bulls?
He wants John Cena's soul. He's got mine too. I got to go with the Brahmas.
Yep. Now, they had a fairly disappointing season last year, so we're kind of hoping that they bounce back from this. Hendo?
So I had a pool team, and I played in a pool team. I was captain of the pool team, and that pool team was called the Renegades. So I'm sticking with the Renegades.
Good lad. Baby?
Well, Phil, as you're a Niners fan and a Mountaineers fan, you clearly have good taste. So I'll take the Renegades.
He's also a Raiders fan as well.
Don't forget, hey, 3-time Super Bowl champions, the Raiders. Thank you very much. Sunday, that's when we're going to have like our double features. We've got the Michigan Panthers and the Memphis Showboats. Both teams last year finished very mid. To compare it to like NFL standards, we're kind of like throwing them into like an 8-8 or an 8-9 kind of bracket. I mean, both teams finished with a very, very similar record. And from my observation in the pre-season, they haven't really done much to change my opinion. So
sorry, Phil, can I just quickly interrupt you, because we've got some comments from British Raven.
Ooh.
So
who do you think going to beat
the Bengals? Everybody.
Yes, Nick. Yes, Nick.
I think that the Panthers are going to win that game.
I was going to take your stance and go for the home team. Hendo?
Sorry, who are the teams again, my friend?
Michigan and Memphis.
Let's go for Michigan.
Yeah. Okay. All right then. Did I say you, Shano? Have I gone to you yet? Shano?
It's like going with a honky tonk man over Kevin Nash. That's not happening. I'm going for Michigan all the way.
And
it's the only thing I can relate this to, but honestly.
Let's not just remember, Michigan. Memphis had a really stupid name, the Showboats. So.
Yeah. I mean, the Michigan Showboats are from the original USFL, so it's not a Rock and Vince creation. So this one feels like very much like a British versus American kind of game. We've got the Birmingham Stallions against the DC Defenders. Birmingham, great season last year. They were really, really good, despite how much I wanted them to lose. DC have a great set of fans as well. They are the originators of the beer snake, which has proved to be ridiculously popular in the last 3 years. So what are we going, guys? We're going to go Brummies, or we're going to go Yankee Doodles?
You're going to go to Birmingham, aren't we? You're going to go to Birmingham.
I don't see why we don't go for Birmingham on this show.
Boring.
That's really good. I'm taking your Welsh accent anyway.
It's better than my Welsh accent, aye.
Boring Brummies, DC all the way.
No. Do you know what? I'm siding with Baby on this one, because Because when I attempted to dip my toe into this UFC XFL type thing, right, the nearest team to Baltimore was DC Defenders. So yeah, I think I'm going to stick with DC.
Okay, so that's kind of like our overview of it. Now I'm just going to do a few things that make it slightly different now from the NFL. We talked about this off air. It takes basically quite a lot of like college kind of ruling as well. The kickoff rule, again, it's been designed to be a lot more safe and more dynamic. So the kicking team lines up at their own 30 yards. The receiving team lines up at their own 35 yards. Players cannot move until the returner catches the ball. Again, the goal is to kind of like make things more entertaining, have less touchbacks.
So is that what the NFL adopted last year? Is it that?
Well, yes, but they also all stole it from the XFL initially, and I'm surprised that the XFL dropped it last year. Yeah. I thought so. The NFL stole it from the XFL. Last year, the XFL dropped it, and now you say they brought it back. There are no 1 point PATs after a touchdown, so I mean there's no kicking. So for like the extra point options, you have 1 point for a run or pass from the 2-yard line, 2 points from the 5-yard line, or a 3-pointer from the 10-yard line as well. Again, just to try and create that more dynamic play. Overtime formats, like we kind of talked already off air, it's more of like a shootout. So instead of like first team wins, each team will get equal chances, and basically it's like a shootout, best of 3 rounds, alternating possessions from the 5-yard line. Okay, so it's keeping it fast and it's also keeping it fair. One major difference to make it different from the NFL is that how long is the play clock in the NFL, boys?
40 seconds.
4-0.
Yeah. The XFL is going for 35 seconds. Okay, so it's 5 seconds quicker than the NFL play clock. And again, last thing that I'm just going to talk about is the onside kick alternative. So I've got written down here, it's changed this year. Teams trailing in the 4th quarter can attempt a 4th and 12 play from their own 33-yard line instead of an onside kick. So if they convert that, they retain possession. They fail, opponent takes over with great field position. So again, it's like that double jeopardy kind of situation. So I'm kind of really, really looking forward to that. But I think the biggest thing to take away from this is the NFL is more actively looking at the USFL, or the UFL, sorry, I should say, as their feeder league. Try and give like these NXT players like a second chance. Yeah, like their NXT or their TNA, where they're looking at them as, all right, then maybe this year you're not ready. Send them to the USL for a season, 2 seasons perhaps, and then when it comes to free agency, we'll have a look and bring you back into the fold. So it's just giving these guys like second, maybe even third chance opportunities to make it pro, because we take for granted over here that they play football in high school, and if they want to keep going, they need to go to college. And then if they want to play pros, they need to then get into like, there's no kind of like football pyramid where if they're not in the NFL, well, there's Sunday league teams or equivalents to that. So this is just giving another opportunity for some great players to have that chance to, again, just reach their potential, because not everyone develops at the exact same time. Okay, we can just look around the league, like Kurt Warner, Hall of Fame quarterback. Okay, he was not drafted. He was stacking shelves in a Kmart. Okay, he's now in the Hall of Fame and a Super Bowl champion and Super Bowl MVP. So he didn't come out of college all guns blaring. He literally waited his time to get there.
He was playing in the Arena League for ages, isn't he?
And he was playing in the Arena League as well. And Arena League is turbulent anyway, because they pop up and disappear very, very quickly. So
I believe he played in England for a bit, didn't he, Kurt Warner?
I know he played NFL Europe for a bit, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was for the Monarchs.
Yeah.
Interesting personal trivia. The reason why my buddy and your buddy, Kurt, is a Cardinals fan is directly because of Kurt Warner. Because when he first started watching the sport, it's like, oh, should I support? Oh, his name's the same as mine. And that's how he started following the Cardinals.
But British Ravens come in saying, did he stack shelves? It's a Hall of Fame level.
Well, let's just say Tesco's wouldn't have extended his contract.
Nice.
So he played for Amsterdam Admirals.
I thought he played for London.
After he played for the St. Louis Rams. Before he played for the St. Louis Rams. So in between the Barnstormers, which is the Arena League, he went to Amsterdam Admirals, where St. Louis spotted him.
Yeah, but so he won the Super Bowl with the St. Louis Rams with the whole Great Show on Turf, didn't he?
Yes,
he did.
that was a great team as much as it painted.
Tory Holt, Isaac Smith, Marshall Falk. Yeah, amazing.
Completely. How do players get picked for the teams? Is it drafted, or how do they?
So they have like almost like a free agency frenzy, and it's actually quite interesting that they actually do their free agency before Christmas while the NFL season is still going on, purely probably because they don't want to like risk not having a full pool of players. But like they sign them up, and then teams do sign them for particular lengthy contracts. I say particular lengthy, 1 or 2 seasons max. Because again, it is still a starter league. It's not as established as like the NFL, so they will start for like 1 or 2 kind of like yearly contracts, but it's mostly built around those who finished college and hit free agency and couldn't really do much, or ones that have dropped out of college. That's just kind of how it's all like NFL players that aren't in the NFL anymore. Like when I listed some of the players like to keep an eye on, a lot of players that have been bouncing around the league. Look, I'm not going to like sit here and say the standard of quality of play is high. It's not as high as the NFL, but it is. It is better than watching Brit Bowl, and this pains me to say it. It is still a relatively. It's probably the same par as a mid-level college team, if I'm being honest. And it's still enjoyable to watch. Like I really enjoyed it, and like, when it first popped on, I mean, me and my wife Gemma, we were watching the XFL quite a lot. And even a guy I work with, Chris, who introduced me to you guys many years ago as a podcast, he got into the XFL, and he used to come to mine on a Saturday before COVID, and we would watch 2 games. So it's a great alternative in an off season where football's very minimalistic. Like the uni bot.
If I wanted to watch it, how would I watch it in the UK?
So how would you watch it in the UK?
Legally.
So it hasn't been announced yet. So this has been a problem from the last couple of years. The first season it was on BT Sport. Last year it was sporadically on Sky Sports NFL. This year they haven't announced it, but I would suspect that it's either going to be on something like, probably like on TNT, or even being able to, because like in America, let me just have a look again what I put for
Fox and ESPN.
Because I'm just going to like just quickly use my media teacher brain here for a second.
It's Fox and ESPN in America.
So there's a good chance it'll possibly be on TNT.
Fair enough.
So if I'm just looking at it, hold on. Let me hold on. Let me just look at the alternatives that it's got here. Here we go. ESPN, ABC, and Fox. So if it's on Fox, there's a good chance it's possibly gonna be on Sky, but ESPN also has TNT Sports. So yeah, I mean, the answer is I don't know. It hasn't been decided yet.
Mr. Harris.
So basically what you're saying, Phil, is there should be XFL, UCFL, what have you, games on the April the 19th and Sunday the 20th of April. Is that what you're saying?
Possible.
Okay.
There's
also something else. There's also something else on that weekend.
Yeah.
Which, if time to schedules suit and monetary bits and pieces suit, maybe we can sort of be in the same place at the same time for a couple of XFL games and maybe the granddaddy of them all.
You know, I'm not in the country, right?
I'm not asking you.
Yeah, I'm not in the country.
And I'm not in the country when he comes back.
Phil knows exactly what I mean. We talk about this off air. I was going to surprise him by just turning up. I'm going to go Yeet.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh, look. There's a good chance that some of the games might be shown on YouTube.
Yeah, they normally do.
Oh, happy Andy.
But like legally on YouTube, like not like someone's just scammed them. That's what it's currently got on the link on Fox. So I mean, there'll be ways, but like, watch this space. I will find out.
Yes, Mr. Pound will be tweeting from the podcast once he knows all the details about the UFL, because he is our UFL extraordinaire. We will give him occasionally a few minutes here and there to talk about UFL if he behaves. And
Thank you.
Mr. Harris.
Two little bits of interesting wide receiver news have come in recently over the last couple of hours. I'm not sure if we've covered it. I don't think we have. But because we haven't, I'm going to mention it anyway. Stephon Diggs, as we know, exceptional wide receiver, an ACL tear last year, has been sitting on the free agency bench for now. His first visit today was with our beloved Oliver Butler Henderson's Patriots. That will be an interesting thing to keep your eyes on. And also, former Dallas Cowboy Michael Gallup has signed a 1-year deal with the Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm not sure about Diggs. Yes,
I like him.
good hands, yes, good wide receiver, but he's 32. He's come off an ACL injury, may not be ready for week 1.
And while we got some breaking news, the Lions have signed former Niners cornerback, Rocky Sin.
Oh, I know Rocky Sin. He played for us as well.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. So
But I said the relevant teams he used to play for.
Right.
He's bad. He's bad.
All right, 6 and 11.
And also the Cleveland Browns have signed guard Tevin Jenkins. 3 more Super Bowls than you, mate. 3 more Super Bowls than you.
One more than you.
And British Raven has just come in saying the Commanders are going to be a huge force this year. Doug Diggs won't be 100%, but we'll get a few snaps out of him. I mean,
Nick, I tend to agree with you on your comment about the Commanders 100%.
Yeah. I mean, they've got Debo now too.
Mm.
Right. It's been a week of massive contract extensions, retirement, some UFL stuff. This is the NFL. It's the off season, but it's never quiet. We have our second mock drafts out next week. Yes.
So two, not
again.
Next week. Yep. Just forewarning these gentlemen because they have a habit of forgetting things.
You know,
I was the first one to go. I got my first one to you first. You know,
there's no football on this weekend. The XFL hasn't started yet. Gemma's away, so I'm going to do it this weekend. You're going to get bombarded from like so much college stuff because that's how committed I am.
I mean, I'm committed.
Well, OBH, I was the first person to get the first mock draft to you this preseason, wasn't I?
Yeah, I'm sure you copied it from someone.
And it wasn't plagiarized at all. Well,
I did my hut in the middle of nowhere in Wales.
Yeah, up a hill.
Yeah, up a hill. I had to get a signal. I had to leave the hut to walk up a hill to send the message. There was no signal.
Carry on with your slander.
A mock draft will be out next Thursday. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, good night. Stay safe all.